This is another longer verse, completing the sentence begun in verse 6. It's also the heart of the story, as Jesus is born, and it's rich in material specific to Luke, and contextualising it within the Jewish world. This makes today's video very slightly longer, but I think worth it for the amount there is to think about. I offer questions more than answers, and hope people will at least be encouraged to think more deeply about this important verse. Kai eteken ton huion auters ton prototokon, kai esparganosen auton, kai anaklinen auton en fatner, dioti uk en autois topos en to katalumati. Lots of kais linking together various phrases. And, start off with your and. Eteken she bore. Ton huion auters, her son. And then we've got ton prototokon, describing the son. The verb is the aorist of tikto again, picking up the tekein from verse 6 in a lovely verbal echo. Prototokon is another important contested word. Taken apart, it means firstborn. That tokon being the O version of the verb root tek, which we've just had. Read it as firstborn, and you leave room for Mary to have other children. This would read well with texts such as Mark 3:31 or Luke 8:19, where Jesus' brothers and sisters feature. It fits less well with section 499 of the Catholic Catechism, though, which professes Mary's perpetual virginity. It's only used 8 times in the New Testament, but there are 3,979 instances listed by Thesaurus Linguae Graecae in a full corpus search. It's not therefore a particularly unusual word overall, just one with a lot to think about with reference to the New Testament. Commentators talk about how it could be used to mean first and only. This isn't the place to go into deep discussion about the issue, but it is one worth noting. We then get another unusual verb, sparganoo. Jesus is swaddled, a word only used here and at Luke 2:12. So very specific to his telling of the story. This idiosyncratic vocab continues. She anaklinen. So she swaddled him, and anaklinen, him, laid him in a fatner, which is your manger. Anaklino would translate into Latin as reclino. The prefix re in Latin is often represented in the New Testament using ana. It's not the usual word for reclining at a meal, though, and it's only used 6 times in the New Testament, 3 of which are in Luke. So the recline feel does give me a sense of him being gently laid down, and is also very characteristic of the way Luke writes. The fatner is also specific to Luke, only used in the nativity story and at 13:15. Michael Parsons comments about how it demonstrates Jesus as food for the world, building it into a greater symbolic reading of the narrative. We move on. Because there was not autois topois, room for them, en to katalumati, in the, whatever you're going to translate kataluma as. What then is the kataluma? It's used 3 times in the New Testament, here and then at Mark 14:14 and Luke 22:11. That is, as the upper room used for the Passover. It prompts us to think about what contemporary houses might have been like, what the place of a guest might have been in that space, and what kind of guest Joseph was, returning to Nazareth to be registered where he came from. It's not the term used in the Good Samaritan for inn, which would be pandocheon. Commentators variously talk about a space that was upstairs in order to be away from the animals who were downstairs, or a public shelter or a guest room. Whatever is going on, it's not the inn of Christmas carols. So this verse, at the heart of the birth story, contains an awful lot of language that is very specific to Luke, and an awful lot of language that asks us to think very, very carefully about what is going on and how that might affect our understanding of the text overall.